Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Holly. I am going to walk you through one of my new projects that I just created using the Close to My Heart products that are found in the January-February 2024 catalog. And if you haven't had a chance to grab your free copy, when you place an online order on my website, you'll get a free copy of this one sent to you. And the Let's Party collection is what I want to share with you today. It is so fun. It is so colorful, it is so vibrant, and I absolutely love the fact that they added Ballerina into the mix of these primary colors, which you wouldn't think would be a combination that you would think of, but it really softens the hues of these primary colors, and I want to show you what I did with it. And Periwinkle is also another color, which is just a softer, kind of a purpley blue. So this paper packet with the sticker sheet is really fun. I'm actually using the paper packet today. And then the other product that I'm going to share with you is this fabulous new stencil. It's the Balloon Stencils. It's on page 41 in the catalog. And I'm going to walk you through how they created this beautiful layer with that stencil. And mine's going to look a little bit different, but I can't wait to share it with you. So these are what the papers look like in the Let's Party collection. They are double-sided, so this is the opposite side of that when you get them. I love the confetti and the checks. Those two are double-sided. And then these are the banners, and then this fabulous, almost like a circus stripe. Really fun. And then these are the cardstocks that are in this collection. And here's that little piece of Ballerina. It's part of this collection too, which is just crazy. I would have never thought of those colors and combinations together. But I'm actually going to walk you through, and we're going to create together this 2-page layout that I was inspired. I'm going to just kind of carefully move this out of the way. I was inspired by this page, and let me just kind of, whoops, sorry you guys, didn't mean to do that. You know what, let me try and move this into view without getting ink everywhere. Let's see if that is a little bit better. Can you see all of that now? Okay, yeah, so they're not glued down, but I'm going to put this together with you on video, and I'll speed it up so that you don't have to sit here for a half an hour and watch me put this layout together. But my daughter Paige turned 18 back in December, and we got to go to London to visit my other daughter Anna, and we got to go to a French restaurant called Balthazar, and I apologize, my pronunciation of that is not good, but it's a tongue twister for me for sure. But it's a French restaurant that is famous in London, and Anna made reservations for us, and we had the most amazing meal. And I couldn't believe how perfect this paper was to commemorate Paige's 18th birthday. So I'm going to walk you through how I did the stenciling on the White Daisy cardstock, and then I'm going to assemble the pages with you. So I'm going to set those off to the side, and the pattern that I used is from the new Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. If you don't have this, you guys grab it. It is such a fabulous book. And this is the layout that I am recreating. And I loved the stenciling that the corporate artist did. So much that I was like, oh my goodness, I can totally recreate that with something completely different. And so I'm going to let you see what that looks like. So I'm just taking that off to the side. I'm grabbing my White Daisy cardstocks. We only need one right now. And I am going to get this front and center. Hopefully my camera will not go blurry. But these are what those stencils look like. And it's 3 parts. So you get the balloons, you get the ties, and you get the decorative elements on the, I don't know if you can see that better, the decorative elements on the balloons. So we're going to start with the balloons. We're going to lay it down onto our White Daisy cardstock. You can always use a piece of washi tape or this amazing masking tape that we sell. I'm not going to, because I'm going to be very careful. And we are going to use these 3 inks. We're going to use Candy Apple for the background of the balloons. We're going to use Periwinkle for the stems and Ballerina for the oh, I'm sorry, the background is Ballerina, the top layer of the balloons is Candy Apple, and then the stems is Periwinkle. So I'm just grabbing our fabulous blending brushes. I love these, you guys. They're amazing. You get 3 of them in a package, and they work so beautifully on our ink pads, and you can rinse these off and reuse them again as well. So for this layout, it showed these balloons up in this quadrant and then down in this quadrant for the left page. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I just like to use a circular motion when I am putting ink onto my paper with these amazing blending brushes. And as you can see, the more you press down on the stencil with your ink and your brush, the more color you're going to lift off of the brush. And so I'm just tapping this ever so lightly. The goal is to not have all of these balloons looking the same color. I want to show the difference in hue by just pressing ever so lightly. So I'm just coming in here and grabbing a few of them, and now I'm going to do the bottom part. And I like to always lift more color off of my brush. As I'm doing this, I'll tap and reload the brush from my ink pad, and we're just coming over here and doing some of these. I want to make sure that these ones down here at the bottom get a little bit of color too. And then I'm going to come back and I'm just going to press a little bit heavier right in here. And I want to get a little bit more of these down here. And I think that will do it. So I would recommend that you carefully lift this up. It's important that you wipe these stencils off when you're done, and I'm going to do that at the very end. So I'm going to carefully put it on another piece of my work surface. I'm going to close up this ink pad. I'm going to move this brush out of the way, and now we're going to grab Candy Apple, and you're going to see we're going to do this one next. And I noticed that the Candy Apple did stain the transparency, but guess what? It doesn't ruin the integrity of it, and you'll be able to use it again. So the key is we want to line these up. Let's see. Let's get it in the right direction, Holly, because that is important. There we go. And you can see where they line up, and you just get those lined up just like so. And then I'm going to open up Candy Apple. It is pretty dark on my ink pad already, but I'm going to still grab, I mean, it's still dark on my brush, but believe it or not, it absorbs down into these bristles, and I want to make sure that I have color right up here at the top, okay? And now I'm going to carefully go through. I'm just making sure that this is still lined up the way I want it. And here we go. We're going to just add color, and this is so fun. This is like where the magic happens. And I am pressing a little bit heavier because I do want these to be pretty vibrant. And now I'm going to come down here and do the same thing on these little guys. Just tap and reload. And get some of those little polka dots down here on the bottom and that stripe. If you need to, move your brush over to the side a little bit, just so you can get those down there. And I think that is perfect. So I'm going to set that down ever so carefully. I'm going to come over here in the corner, and I'm going to gently lift up, and look at how amazing that is. Doesn't that look so fabulous? Okay, so now we're going to do the stems. So let me move this out of the way. And the stems are so cool because they hit the balloons, but then there's just a bunch of little stems straggling everywhere, which is so cute. I love that. Okay, I'm going to load up Periwinkle on here just like this. Make sure that these are lined up where I want them. So it's important that they line up with the bottom of the balloons. That looks great. And then I'm just going to go in here and start applying. And I do want some of these to be heavier and lighter than the others, so I'm just going to kind of come in here and just stagger the color. I want that one to be a little bit softer. Okay, and now we're ready to do these down here. Oops, there's a little piece of plastic from one of them. Don't want that in there. And there we go. And I think that is done. Okay, I'm going to lift this up carefully. Just like that. And look at how amazing that is. Isn't that so fun? And I love the combination of the colors together. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm actually going to show you how I clean these stencils. And then we will be able to start putting this project together. So I just have just some paper towel underneath, some wet paper towel here, and I'm just wiping off the stencil. And it will pick up the color, and then I'm just drying it as well with some dry paper towel. And that should do it. It should be good and clean. So now I'm going to put this one off to the side, and I'm going to grab the red one because it's the most saturated. And as you can see, whoops, let's be careful. Just go to one side. Don't go back and forth like I just did. Just go to one side and it won't push it up. But it does stain the stencil, the red ink, for some reason. It must be the dye lot, whatever dye they use in red. And so just make sure that that gets cleaned off really good. And like I said, it doesn't ruin the integrity of it. And then we're going to end by cleaning off the balloons, and I'm going to find a spot on here that doesn't have the red dye so it doesn't get onto this one. And again, I'm just wiping that off, just like that. And you can see there's a little bit of Ballerina on there. And then I'm going to dry this as well, just like so. And we are now ready to put this layout together. Okay, so following this pattern, this one specifically, pattern 16, Make It From Your Heart 6, that is the one that I'm going to be following. So I'm going to just leave it right here so that I can see what I'm doing while I am walking you all through the process. So I'm going to just go ahead and start taking all these pieces off, just like this. So I'm moving over and lining up the white daisy base that we stenciled on, and I'm attaching this check paper at the 9-inch mark. And then I'm going to take the glitter strips and use my adhesive to put adhesive on both of them and then carefully separate them. And the smaller, more narrow piece, that's I believe 1/8 of an inch, that's going to go up at the very top, and then the 1/4 of an inch is going to go at the bottom. And then I'm going to take the zip strips and attach those flush with the glitter paper. And that periwinkle glitter paper is just perfect with this paper collection. It's just soft enough. And then I'm going to take the banners that I pre-cut and layer them at the 2-inch mark up at the top. And just layer them like so. And then use the circle shaker thin cut and this fabulous number set and create my title. And I'm just using some liquid adhesive to attach that candy apple stitched ring on. And then I'm using foam tape, and I'm just cutting pieces to layer onto the 18 and onto the happy. And I've already stamped the Happy in Intense Black ink on top of Periwinkle cardstock, and I fussy cut that out. So I love our thin and our regular 3D foam tape because it's so easy to cut with our nonstick scissors. So I'm just getting the foam tape put onto these numbers and the banner. Just takes a little bit of time to get that all done. Thank goodness for speeding up a video so you don't have to painfully watch me do all of that. And then I'm just removing the backing, and then I'm going to place it onto that circle. And then the TH was stamped also in Periwinkle cardstock with the Intense Black ink. Now I'm ready to take my photo mats and layer them. I did create an 1/8 of an inch border with white. I just felt like it really made the pictures stand out, especially since my photos are so dark because we were in a really dark restaurant. So I'm just getting those all layered up, and then they will be placed according to the instructions about 1/4 of an inch from the top. So I'm just lining those up, and then there's 1/4 of an inch from the right side. And then this little small piece is going to get staggered, and then there is my title, a little bit overlapping on the zip strip as well as on the photo, adding some of these periwinkle dots. And now we are ready to move on to the right page, and I decided to use some of the periwinkle hearts on the Happy 18th. So I like to line up my left page and my right page before I start adhering all of the other pieces. I like to take those base pattern papers and make sure that they're lined up. So I'm just replacing my adhesive real quick, and I'm going to line that up flush with the other side. And now I can go ahead and start doing the other pieces. Again, I love taking those narrow strips and sticking them together to get adhesive on them. So I'm just lining up that 1/8 of an inch piece of periwinkle at the top, the 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. Again, doing the same thing with the zip strips. I love this simple pattern, how it duplicates in so many areas, but yet the right page has a lot of different elements on it. So now I'm taking that birthday paper, and that has 1/4 of an inch from the left side, and it's 1 inch down from the top. And then my journaling piece, I'm getting that done, and I love that candle piece from the scrapbooking set from Let's Party. And then I'm getting these photo mats put on now, getting them lined up correctly. And I like to line them up first before I put adhesive on to make sure that I've got them staggered correctly. And then I'm taking that birthday piece that came from the scrapbooking or the card making workshop, which I'll show that to you in a minute, but I'm getting these banners put on, and again, I'm moving them at the 9 or 10 inch mark, so it's 2 inches from the corner, adding those periwinkle dots, and there's 1/4 of an inch between those 3 photos and this other photo. So I'm getting that lined up. And then I'm going to attach my journaling, and then I'm going to use liquid adhesive to attach the birthday. So I'm just grabbing that in my tweezers. Makes it so much easier to take something so delicate as this thin cut and be able to handle it and then line it up where I want it. And then I'm just holding that in place so that it can dry. And then again, just finishing with some periwinkle dots. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2-page layout. It was so much fun to make and create, and I look forward to sharing more beautiful artwork with you in this catalog. Thanks so much for joining me.